Yes, I'm looking for a Jeff King. Oh, Jeff Kingman. Hi, Jeff. My name's Ken Shipley, and I'm sort of writing, producing, really I'm creating a television show that I think would be perfect for one of your clients. Corey Haim? Do you got any idea of possibly how I could get a hold of him? Got like a P.O. box address or a... Could you be a little bit more specific about the couch? I mean, you know, it's Los Angeles, kind of a lot of area to cover. I'm going to go ahead and fax you over my number, and if you hear from Corey, if you could pass it along. Is there any possibility that he could be staying with Corey Feldman? I mean, because I sort of need to be getting a hold of him too.
Corey and Corey is a hyperbolic snapshot examining what happens when the spotlight dies, a glimpse into the dark, a flashlight into celebrity has-beenness, just banality, like a look inside the boat show ribbon cutting aspect of celebrity. America is really fascinated with death, with car crashes. NASCAR, you watch it for the wrecks, and the show is sort of a human NASCAR wreck. Corey Haim is, his career is just spinning, flipping over and rolling, and stuff shooting off him as he, rolls out into a crowd of rednecks. I've been working at Barnes & Noble temporarily for 5 years, full-time. By temporarily, I mean that this is a stopgap to something bigger. I just got my 5-year pin, but I haven't worn it. I just don't think it's something you brag about in pin format. You're not just slinging burgers. You're serving a certain kind of people. Oh, that's just brilliant. This is the kind of humor that I really don't want in our television show. Scat humor.
We're going to make a time machine. It's going to be the craziest thing mankind ever seen. I'm talking about a time machine. Can be long, tall, skinny, fat. Time machine. It's gone, man. It's gone.
We built a timeline that focuses on the Corey careers, and we've really just tried to go with the highlights. I mean, I can't talk about every film that, Feldman and Haim were in because, they've got some pretty numerous, lengthy filmography, I guess. Feldman especially. I mean, the guy has been acting since 1979. He did the Bad News Bears TV show. And this is him. He wasn't actually in the movie. Some people forget about his very illustrious voiceover career. He did The Fox and the Hound. He played the Hound. Haim began in '82 on a little TV movie called Edison Twins. He then did Firstborn, Silver Bullet, Stephen King film where he played a kid in a wheelchair. Feldman, Gremlins, of course, Goonies, playing Mouth. '86 is like really where things start getting going, because Lucas, which is what I would consider to be Haim's breakthrough role, and Stand By Me, which was really Feldman's massive breakthrough role after Goonies. Bam! You know, it's like these two, they just hit. And it all leads in to 1987, Lost Boys. This is the film that put them on the map. This film just, it launched Corey's into, the everyday world. License to Drive. Huge film, really establishing them. And then '89, they did Dream a Little Dream 1. And then something happened. And I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I don't understand the break, but they split off. Little Dreams isn't just a television production house. It's really a think tank for all of Brent and I's endeavors.
One of our larger endeavors was actually .com, a pre-boom website.
We scraped some VC together.
Yeah, and it was unwieldy www.tinseltown.vip.hollywoodbigshotstrip.charliechapelin.celebrity.maps.strip.walkofame.prince.html, which didn't fit on coffee mugs or t-shirts too well.
No, but the site was fairly functional. What you did is you would put in a celebrity's name, any celebrity. Yeah, anybody you wanted. And it brought up a map of their house, like how to get to their house. It was a map to their house, and it had their address. And if you scrolled down a little bit further, it had the blueprint to their house.
Which was a novel idea. I mean, no one's done it since.
No, it turned out not to be legal.
We were constantly adding and removing celebrities to our master list just to keep up with Hollywood. And one name, it seemed month to month, his page was constantly needing to be updated, and that was Corey Haim.
Yeah, I mean, at one point we had to get a map of the greater Los Angeles area and tack it up on the wall just to kind of track
the
Haim's movements. Yeah, the Haim.
And it got to the point one day where I was pushing a thumbtack into LAX because the Haim was living in a cargo hold at the airport, and I turned to Ken and I said, "Man, I couldn't write something this ridiculous."
And I said, "Brent, I think we can."
An interesting note, we checked up on Feldman, and throughout this entire time, his address never changed. He was constantly living with his mother. And it struck us as a yin and yang dichotomy between the two. And, as we got deeper and deeper into financial and legal trouble, it was good to have these two guys that we could always turn to laugh at.
And know that they were kind of one rung below us at all times,
Because misery loves company, really.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a bit of a collector. I've collected stamps. I've collected marbles. And then at some point I got into collecting books about collecting, these are some recent arrivals. Magnum, Jaws 2, complete sets. Play them over and over and over. Sit there in my room at night and just stare at it. I liked actually to play them backwards more than forwards because it was kind of more exciting because you already knew it was going to happen after you watched it like 60 times. I'm constantly trying to find things from when I was a kid to sort of relive, this fantasy childhood because, it really wasn't that great, but the toys kind of make it seem that way. Castle pieces. I really loved the castle pieces. A lot of horses. The space Lego. I never really got this. That's incredible. These are really kind of special. One of the promotions that they were doing when Lost Boys came out was they were giving away these cheap vampire teeth, and I went to go see the movie, and actually I saw it shortly after my parents divorced. And, you know, strangely enough, in the film, Haim's, you know, family is kind of displaced at the time. They have to go move in with the grandfather, and the father is absent. And I think that's really, you know, a part of the movie that isn't really explored too much, is that, you know, Haim is a lost boy, and it's not they don't really talk about Haim being the lost boy. You know, they talk about the vampires being lost, but, you know, Haim, you know, he was displaced as well, and I always really identified with that because my dad just wasn't around, you know. So in a way, I'm sort of like the other lost boy. What we have right here is an actual Haim hair sample. You know, the guy had a good head of hair, and it's unfortunate that you know, at one point in his career, he, you know, made a decision that tissue was going to be a valuable source of income. This is Corey Feldman's dental x-ray. I don't know if you remember, he was actually a spokesperson for the Pop Rocks Corporation, and as you can see, he got a little carried away with the freebies. This is what I like to call the Haim Trekker 2000. He started out here. This is his first apartment in 1988 after License to Drive popped. He moved up to Sunset in late '88, and then over to Brentwood. This is really at the height of his career. He was evicted, ended up crashing in Koreatown for a few months on Feldman's couch when he was living in Koreatown. He, for some reason, couldn't pay to keep the boat in the water, so they towed it down 42 here, and then he lived in the boat while it was dry docked. This is the last place that we found him, and it's really kind of unfortunate that we can't get any closer to him, but, you know, El Segundo is a start.
Is Sarah Cohen in? Vice President of Programming? No. Marion Davis, Vice President of Development. Clotilda Dillon, VP of Diversity. Yeah, that really wouldn't help us. Yeah, I'll take his voicemail. Project called Corey and Corey. Something I'd like to shoot over to you, have you look at. Maybe you could show it to Michael Dix, VP of Talent Programming.
Somebody please get the front door? Thank you.
When you talk about space-time foam, Jim, I'm wondering if the fact that a DeLorean is stainless steel, if this would affect
Yeah, go ahead and put it right there.
how it would traverse
Yeah, that's great.
through the world. You know what, Jim? I know this is incredibly rude, but can I give you a call back in about 15 minutes? I'll call you right back. Thanks. What the hell is this?
What are you talking about?
Who was that?
Oh, that?
Yeah, the guy, the bald guy.
That's Matt.
Who's Matt?
He's the intern.
Do we have interest now?
I let you know like the other day about it.
Hey, I think this is it, right here, Matt.
Right here?
Yeah.
What's that,
number?
2151?
2151.
Man, I don't think anybody's gonna be coming to the door. I mean, this looks pretty final. This is.
Yeah. It could be storm damage.
I don't know. It's a lot of glass. It seems like they might have cleaned it up.
But the machine's still on.
So you talked to somebody.
Well, the machine, like, why?
But
Look,
so you didn't actually talk to somebody.
I can-
Look, man, voicemail can go on for months. I mean,
voicemail. No. This is it's more like a campus. Look,
I don't-
there's a big. Let's just walk around. Maybe this, they might have a trailer. The dishes are still up. Why would they leave the dishes up? People could steal those. See, look, there's a building with the dish on it.
campus. Oh man. That looks like fucking World War II back here. Jesus. Get up over this. Let's get this going. Our first real project together was a high school punk band, hardcore band called the Skid Marxists.
Yeah, with an anarchy symbol and an enlarged X for straight edge.
We kind of had an anarchist, communist, straight edge agenda that we were pushing out right
Firmly
then.
rooted in toilet humor. Our cassette-only release, Never Mind the Turds, Here Come the Trotskys.
Yeah, that was a pretty strong seller in the area. I think we sold around 100 copies.
Yeah, rounding up.
You know, we used to play we played this Battle of the Bands.
At
Pizza
and Pipes.
Pizza and Pipes. And,
which was a pizza parlor and muffler shop.
A really kind of interesting hybrid. It was a really nice little place, and you know, I sang, and
I played drums. I liked to kind of be behind the wall of the toms,
I was kind
more
of
behind
you know,
the scenes.
I was kind of more of an energetic front man.
And that sort of relationship still kind of, that sort of dynamic still kind of works today.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, the thing is, it's like, you know, I always felt bad that the band had to break up. You know, but you know, I mean, I always felt like we could have gone along.
I thought we sort of reached our pinnacle.
And maybe someday we'll get the band back together. You know, maybe we'll have the money to, you know, to properly put us in a studio and
Fortunately,
you know,
with the current trends in music, I mean, you guys could just use a drum machine.
we could. Wouldn't be the same, but we could. Thinking more Randy Newman. I'm thinking more, you know, like Ronnie Dio. You know? Yeah. Mellencamp meets Cinderella backstage at a Warrant concert. Gutter Glitter, Sunset meets, you know, Wrong Side of the Tracks DC, Arena Punk, Fascist, Contra Affair, Overthrow, like feel it, fucking give it power, you know? Something in LA, if they get behind them, there's something on me. Anyone down on that rock, slumming it in LA. The price ain't what my mind felt. The bills are never paid. They couldn't be stopped. In March of '87. Cut. No. It's not working. It's just not. I'm not feeling this. Let's hit this one. Yeah, Corey, why does the world hate you? Living ain't easy when you're washed up and used. Fucking this song up. You're washed up and used. Hey, no, this is just not.
What do you mean?
This just isn't good, man. It's just.
I've been working on it.
I give you 6 hours to put this entire thing together. It sounds like you're reading. It's not what I'm used to.
Yeah, you give it a shot then.
Josh, from the top. Right. Yeah. Corey and Corey, why does the world hate you? If only the fans could walk in your shoes. Corey and Corey, why does the world hate you? Even ain't easy when you're washed up and used. Yeah. Symphony, you know? You hear that? Feel that?
This song fucking sucks, man.
That's what's great about it. It's like the Coreys. They're funny because they're tragic. They're not funny because they're actually funny. They're funny because they suck. The song is funny because it sucks. You're a shill. You've been hired to carry out an act to be humiliated about. Do you see that? That's why the song is good. it's gone so far around the spectrum of good that it's gone past being bad and back into good. You know? It's fucking visionary. You know? Way out there. It's out there. It's beyond.
That's great. You got the trash that you were looking for.
No one's really written a script. No one's ever really blocked with feng shui in mind. As I've been storyboarding, I've really been trying to think out how, Feldman's garage, where should the DeLorean go? What's the best place? And it might add it might just shoot out the screen as perfection. The main character is not sympathetic, and that's really the main problem. How do you make Corey Haim and Corey Feldman sympathetic? Most people don't. Most people don't have that. You don't have a Joe truck driver out there doesn't all of a sudden lose his truck driving job and just sort of coast on his past truck driving fame. It's hard to get an audience to relate to this. We're going to have to remind our audience constantly of who these guys are, because most people just don't really remember. It's a very narrow age group. Really, you have to have been born between 70 and 77, and that's not a huge demographic. So the show has to go beyond Corey and Corey's has-beenness and perhaps focus in. We don't want other has-beens. We don't want this to be some parade of has-beens.
Matt, can you give me water? Hello?
Oh,
Hey!
hello?
Hey! Right over here, yeah.
$1.
A dollar? You'll take a water.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is kind of shitty water. Look how she trades. She trades in for the ice. She's like, I gotta get the fresh stuff out here. And meanwhile, we're sitting here with like a kind of a lukewarm, tepid water. It never seems like we've got enough time. It's like, Matt gets here in the morning and we do a couple of things, and then, ultimately we've got to get out into the world. Ultimately we've got to take the message to the streets. Gotta get this thing out of there. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Can I ask you a couple quick questions, just for a TV show? It's about Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
Corey who?
Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. They were child actors back in the 80s.
What activists?
Have you ever driven a DeLorean before?
What's that?
A car, a DeLorean. It was big back in the 80s.
Oh,
Sports
no.
car.
No, I didn't have a chance.
Do you believe in time travel?
Yes.
Who do you identify with more, Corey Haim or Corey Feldman?
My last name is Feldman.
Get
So
out.
definitely Corey Feldman. Yeah. I used to tell people it's my cousin.
Good enough.
Go ahead and send in the next person, and could get me on chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Chris, this next part is part of the casting. We're going to have you read the highlighted parts off of here and get into an abbreviated costume just to see what you can do. Okay, so take that and go ahead and put this on.
God.
You can wipe it off on the shirt if you need to. Highlighted parts.
Gotcha.
So what's next?
Next? There's no next. That was it. I mean, Jesus, Corey. We almost caused the outbreak of a virus.
Water under the bridge, man. How about this? License to drive 2. No. L2D2.
No. L2D2.
Corey, that movie was 15 years ago. No one remembers it.
Did anyone remember the Terminator?
Yeah, millions. And besides, where can the story go? The car was crushed. You got your license. It wraps itself up pretty tightly, don't you think? But didn't you always wonder how Grandpa totaled the beam?
No, never.
Come on, man. The movie was left so open. My mom has twins at the end. They would just be now learning how to drive.
This is just awful.
I could be the driving instructor. Maybe I fixed up the Beamer. with magic.
And now it's a DeLorean that uses wormholes to go back in time.
Why does it go back in time?
To save you, Dean, from stuff.
It's sad, but relationships never last in Hollywood. Nicole and Tom, Tom and Roseanne, Tom and Jerry, Ben and J-Lo. They haven't broken up yet, but they probably will. Yeah, it's just, but somehow Corey and Corey have stayed together. And sure, they're not really in a sexual relationship, as far as I know, but who's to say that Tom and Nicole ever were either.
Listen, we really don't have a lot of fucking time today. Matt, I need you to go ahead and get him going on the mailroom. I'm going to be in meetings all day. Look, I really don't have the time.
Matt?
Okay?
Yeah. All right.
Hello?
Hey, is that Brent?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Nick. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Nick.
Good to meet you. Do you have a letter or something?
Yeah, I just wanted to
Okay,
put this
yeah,
out.
that's good.
Are you going to be okay back there?
Yeah, I'm fine. Can you shut the door, please?
Yeah. Ken?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
When Ken hired the first intern, I thought, okay, true, sometimes I would like to have someone go get me lunch. When Ken brought in the second intern, I thought it was a little too much. Look. I don't really want to part of your interns. I do my own thing. I feel like they're going to be interrupting me. I feel like they might want to put their input in my work.
They're not going to be interrupting you. They're here to help. They're here for lunch. They're here for tea. They're here for whatever. If you want to put them down and put your fucking foot on them,
let me ask you a question.
they're a fucking footstool for you.
Certainly I appreciate having someone around to tidy up after me or answer the phone, but I don't really see the need in sticking that same person behind an array of post office boxes. Have you ever interned?
I did. Look at me. Does it look like I've been an intern?
Let me put you in the mindset of an intern. I interned a little bit in a post-production facility. You're trying to get ahead. You're trying to put your ideas out. You're trying to butt in, basically. And I don't want people butting in. This is our baby. I don't want Nick and I don't want Matt.
Look, I understand.
Throwing in I
understand your
throwing in more smoking into our script.
Good afternoon or good morning. Little Dreams Production, home of the breakthrough series Corey and Corey. How may I direct your call? Now, after you do that, press hold right there. Okay. The light will start blinking. Then hit transfer 7.
Transfer 7.
Yeah, that's Brent. Place the phone back on the cradle.
What if it's for Ken?
Hang on, and then Brent, line 7. And when that stops blinking, you know we picked up.
And what do I hit for Ken?
Ken is number 8. You got it?
I think so.
All right.
So there's really no intercom system here. You're just yelling.
No, there is.
Okay.
Brent will see this blinking.
The old saying goes, write about what you know. Unfortunately, what I know is shelving books and cleaning public toilets in a bookstore and surfing on the internet at home. And that just doesn't make for very intriguing television. So you have to come out in the real world and just observe and soak up ideas. I like to come out here with a packed lunch, my notebook, and just get story ideas. Maybe Corey Haim and Corey Feldman are on a paddle boat race. Or maybe Corey Haim goes to a petting zoo and he's got this rented tux for a premiere and a goat eats it. Anything can be a plot. I think a lot of people overlook that when they're writing television. They get locked into too many things. I mean, even this rice, for example. Ken cooked this rice in a humidifier that he hooked up to an ab roller. And the rocking motion kind of powers the steaming. And it's just ridiculous, Haimish kind of concept. So there's a whole episode about how Corey Haim makes this ab roller / rice cooker. It's exercise, it's food. And the rice is actually pretty good.
I consider myself to be not so much a writer, but an inventor. Kind of an Imagineer, really. And, this is what I call the BizBQ. It's a barbecue / paper shredder that, is for the CEO who finds himself in a position of needing to shred, classified information, but also needs, to cook himself a power lunch. Stick this in. Eating it. Basically, if you have a confidential report that you don't want anybody to see, you go ahead, you get this thing cranking, and then you take your veggie burger or your chicken or whatever, you throw it on there, start going with this thing, and then you got to keep shredding. That's kind of, it's one of the bugs I got to work out is, can you get this thing to continue to shred, until you get the fire that you want. And look at the intense heat. It's already grilling at a really good rate. Obviously this is a bit of a prototype. I'd like the shredder to be metal in the long run. It's not really there yet. So, I like a little bit of whiskey on my burgers. Get the whiskey going and take a swig for yourself. In the middle of the day, you're going to need that shit. And in the end, you got a burger. Working on a mesquite blend of ink. That, so you can kind of cook the ink into it. So when you're shredding the bon appetit.
All right. How about an episode? How about an episode where Corey's mom gets a contract. She's cleaning a really powerful Hollywood person's home.
Like James Cameron, maybe?
Too IMAX-y. I got it. Corey's mom is cleaning Jerry Bruckheimer's house, and he has this ridiculous security system that's like his movies. He's got like moats with alligators and sharks, and he's got like a laser detection.
Alligators and sharks? Does that work? I mean,
they could be saltwater. I mean,
is there a saltwater gator?
It's sort of like a mixture.
Kind of
it's like a half
breed,
like a brine,
like albino.
Yeah. And what happens is Corey like hide in Feldman's mom's cleaning van, and he thinks what we'll do is we'll sneak in his house and we'll leave this script on his toilet on top with these other scripts. So Jerry Bruckheimer will read the License to Drive 2 script, the L2D2 script. But what happens is Corey's mom, finishes early and leaves, and Corey get trapped in this house with this ridiculous security. Like Haim's got to go through these lasers.
This whole
and trap
this
it.
Whole thing.
Yeah,
that thing, like under the lasers. I see
Haim. I see Haim going under the lasers.
He's a slippery figure.
This could be good.
This is something I can work with.
Jerry Bruckheimer has a moat, and we want sharks in it. When I'm writing the script, I've got field guides here. I can really get a good sense of, the anatomy and the behavior of a shark. It just adds that extra element of realism, and it's in the details where the show is really going to transcend. I personally am not a fan of miniature golf. I don't say this to Ken. I don't respect it in the same way I can't really respect short people. Ken thinks that big boy golf, as I like to call it, is just 2 approaching shots and then miniature golf without the obstacles. But I think that driving the cart is a skill.
What is big golf anyways? I mean, it's just like Tiger Woods, come and give me a call when you've got like a 60-foot windmill in the center of the green. Then you might have something, okay? Because when you're having to, to hit that thing through it, you got something special. But the fact of the matter is, you're just hitting the ball down a field. You got nothing great.
Play it where it lies.
I challenge you right now. I'll take you on any miniature golf course, any day of the week, any hour, any year. You're done. You're over. There's nothing for me and Tiger to talk about. I'll show up to the course, and I'll get in the Lotus. I'll do the whole Lotus position thing, and it's just like I've got my putter, and I'm doing the putter thing like this, and it's just like it's really relaxing. This to me is a very tranquil kind of place. Some people go to church. I go to the mini golf course. This is closure. This is a place where I feel comfortable. This is a place where, I know the outcome of everything. The 18th hole is where it ends. It all ends there. You can't play through. You can't pick up your ball. Your ball goes in and it doesn't come out. Sometimes you get a free game, sometimes you don't.
C for Corey, right?
No. Ken likes it H for Haim and F for Feldman.
Okay.
Unless it's by character from a movie, like Edgar Frog, i.e. Edgar Frog, Lost Boys.
Frog, the last name.
No, it would be
No.
E. Edgar.
E for Edgar.
Yes.
Okay. What if it's just a movie title? License to Drive.
D for Drive.
D for Drive.
Yeah.
Ken has been striking me more and more as a very Quixotean person, chasing windmills, sometimes quite literally on the miniature golf course, and more metaphorically with his interns and his, he's talked about running for congressman to help promote the show, but I've really started to feel like Sancho Panza in that I'm just following around this guy like a fat dolt, riding a donkey to nowhere, to some imagined giant that he sees off in the distance. It's kind of been bumming me out.
All right, boys. 5 a.m. You're on time for once. Matt, looking good as always.
Thank you.
Nick,
Yes.
tucked in shirt for once. This is good.
It's what?
Come on.
What the hell?
You gotta step it
I
up.
don't have time sometimes.
You gotta step it up.
Step up. What?
Look, we got a lot of things to do today. Brent is out of town. He's left a lot on my plate. Number one, we are going into pre-production. Dig in. Let's get you to Indian style. What do you think? Indian style, like children? Separating pieces? Essentially, several houses on a block. We want to build the Feldman house. I want to be able to see inside of the Feldman house.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you can guys kind of think of? Get detailed, get into it, get gritty. This is a lot of material to work with. I want to see something good.
This is the backlot.
The director is going to want to see how the shots are going to set up. This is like an advanced kind of storyboard. When Brent gets back from casting, I don't want it to look like, we've been fucking around all weekend. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you two have spent your day working on. Is this what I think it is? It's looking like a kind of shoddy Moss Garden wishing well, to be honest with you. Wait. Did you just put this out in there?
Yeah.
Dude, this is Lego, man.
It's an ashtray.
I can see.
That
There's
took me an
obviously
hour.
ashes. Is this? I mean, is this pretty much all you've done with your day? I mean, it's just like Nick, in his feeble-hearted attempt, built this kind of crappy prop here.
Wait a minute.
Well, what is this?
It's a windmill. I know you've been having problems with your windmill shot.
You're right.
So I took a few hours just to put this together for you.
So is this working? Do I have to spin it myself?
No, I can get down and crank it for you. Nice and easy. Oh, there we go. Beautiful shot.
Holler if you catch something. Let me pull one in, just so I can see what it's like. Get the feel for it. No bites or anything. He's a big one. Did you want to reel him in? Yeah. A little jumpy. Let him swim around. Fight. Let him fight it out.
He's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. Good eating. A couple slices of Wonder Bread. I'm not real good at taking the hooks out of their mouth either. Like this?
Yep.
No, the only thing that he wrote that I still have is Pac-Man Bob. He wrote it. He got an award for writing Pac-Man Bob when he was in first grade. It was a book that he wrote that starred Pac-Man. Brent was always into video games, and so, it seemed like an obvious thing. His grandfather was Bob, so they put the two together and made Pac-Man Bob. And it was the adventures of this little yellow thing that went around to different places. And he was real creative, though. He made the book out of felt, and he did a real cute job on the illustrations. He liked to draw and stuff too. I still think you should go to Notre Dame. That's what your father wants.
Well, I've been there. I've done that.
I know, but it's a good school. What about Northwestern? Did he get paid? No, he didn't get paid. He never got any money for anything he's ever done. I mean, you get paid for writing anything or doing anything. If you were in grad school, you can make connections already. There's a lot of people that know people. Maybe your film could be a project for school.
I don't know if they'd give really PhD credit for a movie about Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. Don't think that's...
Sure they would. I mean, it's creative. I don't know. I just think that it'd be safer, to do something like that than just keep taking chances and gambling on stuff. Go for the safety net. Yeah? No?
Yeah, I suppose.
You guys got a mustache. Great, I like it. Okay, let's bring all these fuckers over here. Corey Sniper, He's got the bow and arrow. This is definitely Feldman. He's having some kind of altercation with his neighbors. Thank you, Nick. Hey, Nick. Can you go ahead and get me another one of these 2x4 clears? I think Haim is a definite fan of mini golf. And that's not a bad idea for us to maybe go ahead and pitch to Lego.
2x4 clear.
Oh yeah, Matt already found me one. Go ahead and put that back.
Found one. All right.
Yeah, I think you were sitting.
Hey man, what's going on?
What are you doing? What the hell's all this shit?
It's a little backlot I sort of built while you were away. I just, I thought it'd be, that'd be sort of interesting if we had kind of a...
Backlot of what?
Well, it's the Feldman neighborhood. You might want to keep this running, Danny. This is something that I think would be good for the documentary.
Wait. Who is this?
I don't know, man. I was just sort of putting together Lego guys that I thought would be
I haven't written this character. I didn't put a fucking monkey.
Well, look, animals are funny.
I'll give you the monkeys are funny. I'll give you the monkeys are funny. I didn't put monkeys in my show.
I built this little DeLorean. Look at this. I mean, look at this thing, dude. It's got fucking gull wing doors. You see this? It's like, look, dude. I actually built the flux capacitor in there. I mean, you
didn't build it. That's a piece.
Dude, I mean, I'm talking about possibly building sketches and selling them to Lego of this thing because it's so fucking good.
I don't speak Danish. I'm not about to make a long-distance phone call to Denmark.
Well, I'm sure they've got an office somewhere. Look, let me show you the inside of the Feldman house, and you can at least tell me if you think it's accurate. I haven't built the kitchen yet.
Isn't this like a trademark infringement? I mean, we're supposed to have... you're going to have Jar Jar Binks in our television show?
Look, he's just a funny character.
He's not a funny character. He's a racist character.
I had the interns go out and, spend a little of your
Misa, I will lock on you! Or whatever, the shit.
Look, I had the interns go out and spend a little of the petty cash that was in your desk. We picked up some Star Wars Legos because I felt like the tan...
Those were
tan is a very popular color in California.
Is this supposed to be some sort of like modern architecture?
No, dude, don't break my house.
What is this?
That's a bathtub. I don't know if he's maybe into fishing. I don't know if he's maybe into windsurfing. I don't know if that's something you want to ride in.
It's a stretcher?
Well, you remember...
He sleeps on a... I mean, that's funny. He sleeps on a stretcher.
Yeah. So we could do an episode where Haim...
Who is this?
That's Feldman.
You got the glove.
I mean, look at this guy, dude. This guy is... I mean, it's...
You got the...
He is the masterpiece. I've really kind of gotten upon... I used Qui-Gon's hair.
Well, you really did capture the essence.
I told you.
I mean, Lego is a very minimal form, and it's almost like a haiku of primary colored bricks. And with just such a limited vocabulary, you really did kind of nail Feldman.
I'm glad you're proud of that. But look, the time wasn't wasted.
Wait. I'm still fucking mad at you. This is ridiculous. What if I want to go get my film books? I can't walk through this.
You don't even seem to kind of grasp, the minimalist idea that I'm trying to get across here. This is something that we can use to write episodes around. Did you break the fucking thing? You broke the fucking DeLorean? Give me the piece. Give me the piece. Give me the fucking piece. You son of a bitch!
There you go. Now you can send those directions to Denmark. What is this?
Fuck off.
Oh, I broke Ken's toys.
I can't believe you broke the fucking DeLorean. I'm really having a hard time with this. I mean, you're affecting my fucking golf game at this point now. It's just like, you may have this fucking grad school backup project.
First of all, you don't even have a hole put in this thing. How's that helping your golf game? You have a stretch of AstroTurf that you bought.
You know what, man? I wasn't going to tell you this, but I've got someone coming in on Monday and putting a hole in the foot. Okay?
Most of my friends don't understand why I work with Ken. My girlfriend doesn't particularly like him. My parents don't particularly like him. The interns don't like him, I'm sure. I don't know if I really like him, but I work well with him sometimes if he's up for it and not golfing. But yeah, it's really odd. You just find yourself in places where you're kind of stuck with someone, and breaking up with him now would mean not getting this TV show made, maybe. But maybe, who knows, I could go solo and just take out the parts that he wrote if I could find them.
There's no goal in friendship. You're just friends. You date a woman, you're working towards something. You're working towards your first kiss. You're working towards getting in her pants. And next thing you know, you're picking out china patterns. And you're planning, college funds. And then you retire. And then you're buying funeral plots. And, but it's something. It's going somewhere. With Brent and I mean, if we don't have Corey and Corey, we don't have anything. I mean, I haven't seen the guy, what, like 2 weeks? You know, we're renting out this attic space, and you know, he's not even coming in anymore. If you're casting MVP votes here, vote's gonna be going to me. 'Cause without me, this show is nothing.
I've been looking into some other avenues to save the material because I think it's great material. I think it's funny. I've been coming up with a comic strip that I call Corey and Corey Babies. And it basically just takes a lot of our scripts that I wrote and, you know, puts them on Corey and Corey, but as babies. And it just kind of makes it funnier. These are sort of my references to Feldman and Haim. Feldman, he's a little fatter in the strip. In fact, I'm currently finishing up this strip. It says, Feldman, this is Feldman, obviously. It says, Feldman goes, I think I'm getting a beer gut. Haim says, whatever, I drink beer. You don't even know what beer is, do you? And then Feldman says, sure I do. It's like soda pop, but made out of meat or something. And the joke being that Haim drinks beer and that Feldman's bragging about drinking beer, but babies don't even really know what beer is. But maybe Haim does as a baby. And I think people would find that funny. Another prong's been added to the fork. Barnes & Noble has put an offer on the table, management position. They really like what I've been doing. I came up with this whole floor is more technique, these piles, the alteration of the spines and the leaves, and it's sort of being worked into the corporate vernacular, like all the games and What's up?
Hey. What's up?
What's going on?
I was just looking for a book.
Something wrong with your vagina?
No, I think something's wrong with Troy's vagina.
What is this? 9:30, wake up. 2:30, Cocoa Puffs.
Ken's just concerned that you're not spending enough time on Corey and Corey outside of the office.
Wait, Ken is outside the office. This is my office. This is my job.
Well, what about Corey and Corey? Could you just do something so I can just put it down in this logbook? I'll be on my way. Wait. What time is it?
Yeah, MTV? Yeah, look, I've got a television show. Yeah, give me, Tenny.
Tenny?
2 N's.
2 N's? What's his last name?
Tompkins. I can't fucking believe it. Hi, Tenny. My name's Brent DiCrescenzo. I'm a writer of a script called Corey and Corey. I think it'd be really great for your network.
My daddy said, son, the time's done come. I'm gonna turn you loose and let go your hand. You got to go in the world and prove yourself a man. 'Cause you've been put down here to be number one. You got to rise in the morning and meet the sun. You got to sit at the table and break the bread. And if the blood in your veins is running red, then you ought to be a man, or you might as well be dead.
Hey everybody, can you gather around for just a minute? Just come up a little closer. thanks for coming out, really. It means a lot to me for you guys to be here and celebrate this very special occasion. For some of us, this will probably be our last time together. I might never speak to most of you again. I'll be in Hollywood once the show blasts off, and, we'll be in different time zones and classes, really. And someday, there'll be a DVD, and you'll be able to purchase it.
Thanks, Ken. From the heart, as always, from Ken. I have a poem I'd like to read. It's a little more simplistic than my tastes tend to run, but I find it quite appropriate. Sometimes the world looks perfect. Nothing can be rearranged. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's going to stand in my way. This flame in my heart and a long-lost friend gives every dark street a light at the end. Standing tall on the wings of my dreams, rise and fall on the wings of my dreams. Rain and thunder, wind and haze. I'm bound for better days. It's my life, it's my dream, and nothing's gonna stop me now.
Wait, isn't that the theme song from Perfect Strangers?
Oh my god.
It was. Hey, Matt, you want to bring the cake out?
The cake! All right, look, this is sort of like a freeze frame for all of you not in the know of the detail, dedication, and ingenuity that went into making the Corey and Corey script.
I couldn't get the cake.
What do you mean you couldn't get the cake? I gave you $37.50 for a multi-dimensional television cake.
I forgot to call her, and I was swamped at work, and she couldn't get it done by today. And
so there's no cake.
I whipped up something on the fly. I spent about $25. I had to get pans.
Something on the fly. Is it multi-dimensional?
Yeah, it's got dimensions. It's not flat. Ta-da!
Sweet Jesus! I asked you to do one thing. One thing. This is what you bring. Listen, I take no responsibility for this cake. I am rescinding any of my comments vis-a-vis the cake. I mean, this is just pathetic, man. Pathetic.
My daddy said, son, the time's done come. I'm gonna turn you loose and let go your hand. You got to go in the world and prove yourself a man. 'Cause you've been put down here to be number one. You got to rise in the morning and meet the sun. You've got to sit at the table and break the bread. And if the blood in your veins is running red, then you ought to be a man, or you might as well be dead. Then you ought to be a man, or you might as well be dead.
Do you remember when you said that I wouldn't amount to anything in my entire life? Amount this. MTV. Oh, Corey and Corey, why does the world hate you? You were living like kings, but those days were through. Sleeping on floors, sleeping with whores. Haim was the dreamer, Feldman was the rock. What?
Hey, you're the. I mean, I guess you're the dreamer and I'm the rock. You're the Haim and I'm Feldman.
Don't talk like that. Are you gonna be all right?
Yeah. Like I'll be comfortable.
Alright. I mean, it's really fucking unprofessional. It's just really fucking unprofessional.
The first finger bang.
Fucking pull it together, man. Jesus. Ridiculous. This is terrible. Really gotta hand it to Brent here. I mean, he really pulled this whole thing together, and just really came through. I mean, nobody gives this guy the credit that he deserves. He's a book jockey, you know? This is really big for him. I mean, it's not like he's got miniature golf to fall back on. It's not like he's got, you know, another 10 or 15 years like I do to really just kind of screw off. Let's face it. The guy, he doesn't want to go back and get his GED. You know, he doesn't want to go to grad school. He wants to be in movies. He wants to write. He wants to, you know, he wants to see his name on the marquee. And you know, you can't begrudge that. You can't begrudge somebody wanting, you know, more than they have. It's the nature of all things. Do you want to be in a movie?
I want to feel happy when I see you.
Is this what we want? MTV, is this what we had sort of pictured? Is this what we imagined?
You know, it's not exactly. You know, I think we were kind of hoping for something where we could swear a little more, maybe show some tits, but
We're bringing them back.
well, that was
And
kind of
like,
always
what
the
is that
point,
doing
though.
for society? Like, we're just keeping this perpetual, like, letting these they're talentless people, and people don't read credits. They're gonna see Corey and Corey, and they're gonna get famous again, and we're gonna have to start the whole cycle over again. Yeah,
But we always knew it was never really about, you know. It's like,
yeah, but it's like we need to go in there and like get a job. You know, I'm not in this to just sell an idea. It's just like you know,
I think you're overthinking it, man. I mean, look, not everybody is on the top of the marquee.
I don't want to sell books, but
you're not going to sell books for the rest of your life. I mean, this is not the be-all, end-all, man. I mean,
it might be. I mean, how many
not.
shots do people get in their life? I mean, it's like it was a fluke that we even got here.
Hey guys. Hey.
Teddy?
Yeah?
Brent DiCrescenzo, from the Corey and Corey, we had a pitch meeting.
Oh, yeah, hey, how are you guys?
Fine.
Nice to meet you. How you doing? How was the journey?
Yeah, you know, it was a drive.
Nice office. How long did it take you to work your way up into a closet like this?
I've been here 14 years. Worked my way up the corporate ranks with Paulie. Here I am.
Here we are.
Do you ever get any FaceTime, VJ?
They threw me a 4 a.m. shift to see how I do, and they pulled the plug after I played Paul Hardcastle's 19 4 straight times.
Oh, and that's a good song. It's a good track. It's profound, danceable.
Try living it.
So Tenny,
You know, that's an interesting name. Anyone ever call you like 10 Spot?
No.
Like 10 grand.
No.
Who's on the $10 bill? Was that Nixon?
It's not important. Tenny, I'd just like to open up.
What's that short for then?
Tennessee.
Extending our...
Wait, your name is Tennessee. What was that, like your VJ name or something?
You don't really want to know.
I don't think we need to know. We don't need to know.
What are you, some kind of pool player?
My platoon was tits deep in rotting, suffocating jungle filth. We're returning from a 3-day LERP where we survived on 2 whites, yellow, beans, and motherfuckers. The VC ambush was fast and deadly. Everybody sucked lead. I lay there, waiting to die, when he found me. 18-year-old NFG private. He said, "Hang tough, hard stripe." That kid walked 6 miles with me over his shoulder and his guts oozing out of a 6-inch gash in his belly. He tripped over his own colon when we got back to the purple out zone, the Huey hovering there. He lay next to me. He looked over. He said, "Take this ring back to my bride in Tennessee." And he pulled me close. He was shaking like a 50-cent stepladder. He said, "Tell her I love her." They zipped him in a glad bag. I lived. They mustered out in the States, grabbed the first train to Clarksville and knocked on his door. And you know what? Some chicken shit Section 8 4F Jody with a ponytail answered the door. I wear this ring and carry that name in his honor.
So was there a particular episode that stood out in your mind?
That was pretty intense.
Well, I was referring to our show and the script.
Yeah.
Sort of the reason we're here,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Hold on. You know, I gotta be honest with you. The script has some assets. There's some things in here that are gold.
Well, what did you think it needs?
Needs a love interest, female lead.
Wait. This show isn't about love, okay? I mean, these guys, they're not even lovable.
Let's not focus on the negative. Maybe you should just tell us what these gold pieces are. Maybe try to extract, work it with the...
2 letters and 2 numbers for you. Actually, 2 letters and 1 number twice. L2, D2.
What about it?
That's the show.
Man, that's a joke.
This is a comedy?
Well, what genre did you think it was?
I thought it was a tragedy. I mean, these guys are sad, pathetic.
That's what's funny about them.
Well, I mean, we did have an idea where the second season would sort of follow the creation of L2D2. Corey trying to put together this effects-heavy movie, but with no budget and
right,
the garage.
Right. Actually, we brought some props that I think might better illustrate what we're trying to get across.
Rehearse this.
Now, I didn't have time to do a proper landscaping or build any real furniture, but this is what I believe to be a scale model of the Feldman estate. This is a little Feldman.
You see
story.
this as a product tie-in? You're going to toss this in a Happy Meal?
I mean, anything's possible. It's just, I felt like this would maybe give you an idea of, our specific vision.
Well, his vision.
Well, right. I mean, really, the whole thing is sort of my idea.
I mean, the Legoing, that's Ken's.
No. This idea. The car that tunnels through the ground. That's black ink.
Wait. The car doesn't go through the ground.
Yeah, it digs those holes, those worm tunnels. I'm seeing some sort of underground worm man species who pops to the surface with world domination. Maybe it's got a bulldozer on the front. Maybe it's not even a DeLorean. I had one of those pieces of shit in the 80s. The Brasso bill alone will kill you. Maybe it's Herbie for the Mountain Dew generation.
What, Herbie the love bug?
Yeah.
No. Look, it's got to be a DeLorean because it's the culturally accepted time travel vehicle. I mean, secondly, you know, Mountain Dew sucks.
And just to clarify, wormholes are a space-time phenomenon.
Ah, semantics. Joe Truck Driver doesn't know the difference between James Dean and Jimmy Dean. Maybe we should discuss the casting. Who's going to play these guys?
Themselves.
Wait, these guys are real?
Yeah. Yes.
So this is their real lives. How much did you guys write?
Well, we wrote all of it. It's not what their lives are actually like, it's what their lives could be like.
Why don't we just do a reality show?
Because what we write is more interesting.
Look, do you think the public's actually interested in a couple of has-beens? Well, arguably never-wases?
Yes. Your entire network is based on the concept of building people up just so you can pull the rug out from under them, just so you can bring them back 10 years later for some kind of retro fucking reunion special. Celebrity boxing, celebrity deathmatch, celebrity fear factor, celebrity circus of the stars, infomercials, chicken commercials, collect call commercials, cribs, behind the music, true Hollywood stories, Vegas cabaret, birthday parties, boat shows, fucking ribbon cuttings at mall openings. These guys are keeping it real. Everyone else is whoring themselves out for airtime and free sneakers. They're out there, toeing the line, breaking the mold, keeping it straight. I'll get the limo.
Getting back to these worm men, I was just brainstorming during that little, and I've always wanted to write science fiction. I was just thinking maybe it's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet between the worm people and the surface people. We could get Austin Kutcher to play the Mercutio role.
Listen, Brent, I like you. I like your ideas. I love your enthusiasm. But I mean, legally, both your names appear on the script. Frankly, I don't see myself working with your partner there.
I wouldn't use the word partner.
Regardless, copyright law, and it still says Ken Shipley on the front page of the script.
But the worm men, that was our idea.
My idea.
But the DeLorean, I came up with that.
These Brasso numbers don't lie.
Or 1E? I know it's not L2 or D2. You gotta fucking lighten up, man. It was one network. One guy who didn't even know Corey were.
No one knows who Corey and Corey are.
But that's sort of what's funny.
That's what's not funny about it.
So you're just gonna fucking give up?
What am I giving up?
Me.
I've had 20 years of you. Corey and Corey were together 8 years.
9.
But they had something. We have nothing. Where's our Lost Boys? Where's my fucking car?
Hey!
Feldman's career was fine before Haim came along and fucked it up. My career will be fine without you.
I mean, you come to a place like this and you pretty much instantaneously feel like a child again. It's like I feel like I've never pretty much ever grown up. I mean, I've never really had to grow up. You know, nobody's ever. No, man, I just don't feel like this is a very important shot. It's an uphill shot with a speed bump.
Not an important shot. We need this shot. You need to make this shot. If you don't make this, you can fucking forget about the Wild Cherry Pepsi Invitational. We have 3 months to get ready for this. 3 months. This is like your basic MGA shot. If we don't make this, we have no business even being out here.
I mean, that's just insulting.
The signature.
I'm gonna go ahead and frame this, put this up on the wall. It's gonna be worse than that. Guaranteed.
Okay.
That's tough. I think that it's important for me now to just focus on one pursuit instead of having like a million things and me going in a million directions, just to kind of get on a track and you know, it's my own track, but really follow through on something. I've got very little interest in being like everyone else, being part of the status quo and punching time cards or punching a bag at a gym. I'm just not really cut out for that world. I don't think I'm ever going to be cut out for that world. I don't think that there's anything that anyone can say to me to make me think that, hey, it's time to throw it in. It's time for you to grow up. It's time for you to be a man. It's time for you to start taking on responsibility. I think that's bullshit. I think that's an easy way out. I mean, I think Brent and I will probably always be friends. You know, we had sort of this symbiotic relationship. You know, and maybe it was parasitic at times, but you know, I can't.
In essence, I feel validated. Because things that are stolen are things of worth. I learned that behind every bloated, trite piece of garbage that Hollywood can cough up, there's a seed, a germ of a brilliant idea. I wrote a joke where Corey Haim and Corey Feldman came up with the worst idea possible. License to Drive 2. L2D2. And that joke was greenlit by MTV. And to dude, I still can't find my car. But I don't mind. In my new role here as store manager, I get paid more. I'm allowed to be more creative. There's more paperwork. I do performance evaluations. A store newsletter I wrote, created, called Atlas Shopped, has blossomed into a column in our corporate quarterly report. You know, you make friends when you're young, and you think that you'll be friends forever. And it's not that you grow apart or change. It's the opposite. These people don't change. You find yourself friends with a grown child, and you see adolescence in every one of their antics. So you start over. You find new people. And this is probably why child stars need to fade away. Because we were just never meant to see them as adults.
They went down on that log, slumming out down LA. The best days were behind them. The bills are never paid. They couldn't be stopped. And macho baby is 7. Women and drugs everywhere. Life seemed like heaven. Oh, Corey, why did the world cross you? If only the fans could walk in your shoes. Yeah, Corey, why does the world hate you? Living ain't easy when you're washed up and used. Yeah, you're washed up and used. Yeah, you're washed up and used. Haim was a dreamer. Feldman was the rock. 00 Kid, the Haim in the bar. Dream a little dream. License to drive. They were lost boys then. Was the time of their lives. Oh, Corey, why did the world cross you? If only the fans could walk in your shoes. Yeah, Corey, why does the world hate you? Living ain't easy when you're washed up and used. Yeah, you're washed up and used. Yeah, you're washed up and used. Yeah. Oh, Corey, why'd the world cross you? You were living like kings, but now you're through. Yeah, Corey, why does the world hate you? Even gypsies and slaves have seen better days.